All right, we locked in, baby. Guess the Imposter. Big teacher edition. All right, let's go ahead and hop in, man. Damn, got some eyes on these niggas, huh?
Hello and welcome to Find the Imposter Teacher Edition. Yay! Today we have got a group of teachers, but one of them is an imposter.
What type of qualities does a teacher
round,
have?
we will decide who we think is the imposter and chat amongst ourselves. And at the end of the game, we will make our guess and the imposter will step forward. Are we ready, chaps?
Yeah.
I'm so ready.
Bring in the teachers. I've never said that before.
What does that even mean? I'm not surprised.
Ooh, teachers. Education.
Education. To recap, 4 of these people are teachers, 1 is an imposter. Me and the boys have 4 rounds to decide who that imposter is. Hi guys.
Does anybody? Does George have does George seem like he I feel like he has the head of like a short person, but he's like not that short. I don't know. What does that even mean? Okay.
Is. Hi guys. Just to say, love what you do.
Thank you.
So I guess please just introduce yourselves first.
It's a big head. That's what it is. Like, I feel like he has the same head as that little nigga from Game of Thrones. You know what I'm talking about? The dwarf character. I feel like they have like the exact same like mannerisms and everything.
We'll go left to right.
So I'm Jack, I'm 28, I teach history.
And I'm B, 28, and I'm early stages teacher.
I'm Rohan, don't worry about the age. I teach design technology.
I'm Charlie, I'm 27 and I teach economics.
I'm Hava, I teach PE and I'm 28 years old.
Hell no.
Range of subjects.
Mr. or Mrs. something.
Yeah. Oh.
I think none of them are teachers.
It's crazy, but it's got to be the lady in the green.
Mr. or Mrs. something.
Yeah. Oh.
I think none of them.
It's got to be this lady, I think. There's no way she teaches PE. There's no way. Not even. We're not. Stop it. I'm distracted the entire class. Get the fuck out of here. This dude right here, no, I think he, like, I don't want to be wild, but he touches kids. This dude right here, nah, he looked like he looked like he got some money. I don't know why, but he looked like either like some type of like finance or like he got a course of some kind. And this dude right here, it's honestly between these two. I'd put it between these two. Because this guy has like a hip-hop Harry vibe.
Teachers.
Initial thoughts as they came in, B, you look like the most teacher person in the world.
I felt like I was getting told off immediately, I'll be honest with you.
I thought B.
Oh shit. Oh shit, I fucked that up. Wait a second. Oh my god. Oh my god, now I don't even know what to think. I don't even know what to think now.
Teacher person in the world.
I felt like I was getting told off immediately, I'll be honest with you.
I thought B looked like a teacher.
Charlie, maybe. I'm saying not a teacher.
Look, I don't like to judge a book by its cover, but I've realised
Did I
today
even
that is
listen in
exactly
the
what we're
intro?
doing.
Yeah, I feel like we should probably like single them out one by one because that was like a lot
Maybe
of
my
information.
ex was right.
That was a lot of information.
You need to hone in on one, I think.
Jack, right?
Yep.
Do you only teach history?
Yeah, mainly. At times I've taught like RE, a bit of sex ed as well.
Any further questions, George?
Oh yeah, on the sex ed topic. You just do like a brief recap.
What sort of rates do you charge, just out of interest?
What kind of stuff do you teach kids at?
When they're that age.
Yeah.
It tends to be a lot around like sensory play and just learning about the world through experience. So they'll do like lessons where they're playing with water, sand, bricks. But then we also do like obviously reading,
Yeah, that
writing.
sounds well fun.
Yeah, it's sweet. And like music, obviously we use lots of that.
What's the weirdest thing a child's ever eaten?
Oh my god. No, anything like the sand they love to put in their mouth, but it's like child safe sand, so it's okay.
I used to eat pasta a lot in school.
That's somewhat normal though.
All of them are a teacher except for it's either the blue eyes guy with the weird jacket or it's the black dude. 100%.
Yeah, I hate pasta.
No, but as in
The imposter's either the black dude or the guy with the blue eyes. Not the first guy with the blue eyes, but the other guy with the blue eyes.
Is it flavoured?
No, but they do different colours.
Different coloured sand?
Yeah.
Are we focusing too much on sand?
Yeah, maybe we are.
This is an amazing product.
I quite strongly think she's a teacher. I think the mannerism, she's very calm, like she's very articulate, good at speaking.
And knowing that sand knowledge, no one would make up safe sand.
It's too niche.
Rohan, what sort of things are the classes working on at the moment?
Well,
My year 11s have just handed in their coursework, so that's exciting.
Which is what? What did they have to build?
Coursework.
He's lying. He's lying to our faces.
So from the exam board we get challenges, right? They got 3 challenges, they have to pick one. And then from there they have to design their own coursework. So they have to pick their own client, they have to do their own research, they have to do their own design, and they have to come up with a product that they're gonna make for that client. So currently they're looking at children and education. So a lot of them have done like board games, games for like sensory play.
It's a good callback there.
At year 11, still doing sensory play. Chew on this rubber.
Nah, because they picked.
That's crazy though. That sounds like a really amazing class. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds awesome.
Clients. So like one of my students,
that's too good to be true. I told you, he's a fucking liar, dog. He's a liar.
Client is their niece, and she's like 3 years old.
Me.
So you have to make the product for that person. They're not just eating sand at like 16.
You seem very calm. I'd quite like to know what your style is.
I'm from the Caribbean, so I'm just chilling.
Let's pretend we're in one of your classes, and we're not listening. We're talking too much, and you just want to get our attention. I'd just quite like to know how you do it.
And just saw the end of the table with a.
So, which one? Arthur, why are you hitting the table like that, Arthur? It doesn't make any sense.
I've got a hat. I'm using my hammer.
You're using a hammer?
Yeah.
Do you know how to use a hammer? Clearly not. So let's just stop right there for a second. Right?
Sorry.
Well, number 1, I'm going to explain how you use it.
Okay.
All right. And number 2, you're going to use it properly, because if you don't and you hurt yourself, that's a big health and safety risk. I don't need to do that paperwork. Right. I just need to teach you. All right. You also need your fingers. Okay. One to eat that sandwich, yeah, and 1 for your bus pass on the way home.
Wow. Aura. That is aura.
That was quite a teachery sort of powerful answer.
If I have to hammer for the rest of my life for him to keep saying my name.
He a liar, bro. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's too good to be true.
Let me just say.
So far, they look like teachers to me.
So economics next, is it?
Economics, yeah, at A level. So yeah,
oh my god, I knew it.
Kids,
I told you guys.
18,
Attack, like he does some type of finance or something. I knew it.
You tried it. If I didn't get that right.
To be fair, from that moment on, I was pretty set on Charlie not being the imposter. It would take me, I'd say, maybe 10 seconds to think what 7 times 7 is.
What are 3 factors that might shift the supply curve to the right?
The amount of money that the government invests into education.
Just got down.
You sound like you've done economics before.
I did. I studied it.
Quiz you on some stuff.
Please don't. It's been a long time. It sounded like he actually was rattling off the answers, though. I was quite confident.
Or did he just study A-level economics?
Yeah.
True.
Actually, not usually.
Maybe he still is. Maybe he's an A-level student.
No, 27. Don't think you can.
If I said LRAS curve.
Long run aggregate supply.
Okay, no,
Damn.
He's got it.
There's a lot of pressure on you now.
Yeah, go for it.
What's your favourite sport?
Netball.
That was locked and loaded. I've no further questions, Your Honour. Okay, so as a PE teacher, do you have like a team? Like are you taking like the under 12As or like what's the?
Yeah. Across all years, I teach secondary, and I've got a netball team in every year.
Do you face other schools in sports? What day does that normally happen?
Oh, they change. So right now, netball's on a Thursday and football's on a Wednesday.
That's quite
good,
quick.
Actually, yeah, very quick. Can you give us perfect netball throwing form?
Without a netball?
You're going to create a W with your hands. You're going to have your elbows tucked in. You're going to step through, follow through.
She could have played netball, but
hell no.
Yeah, it's very true. Maybe it doesn't help with that.
I don't know any netball
hell
terms
no.
that we can test.
Oh, what does GA stand for?
Goal attack.
That's all I've got.
I'm not gonna lie, who the fuck would know that?
Teaching you how to throw. I mean, she could have just played netball at school and known it, but again, she passed the test with flying colours.
She could be a sports teacher. I'll give her that. She could do it.
What is netball?
So, how did you get into teaching?
I did history at university, quite liked it, but sort of found myself trained home after a long old day. I always considered teaching, with obviously interest in history, looked into it, found the right way into teaching for me, and I'm being honest, I haven't looked back. About 5th year, full time
I mean, you
now.
do look back
and I've loved
often.
it. Oh yeah, for history.
I got my joke for the round. We're done. We're done.
You didn't listen to anything else he said, did you? You just thought of that in the first 10 seconds.
Right, okay, I think, well, I'm clueless.
We knew that before we walked in the room.
We can discuss and move on to the next round.
Class dismissed.
Well, obviously
This is hard.
Only one of them was primary school or nursery. The rest was secondary school.
But she held herself
Similar
like
to
an idiot
basketball,
teacher.
but you can't
She
dribble.
did.
Knowing about coloured safe sand as well is just so niche.
She's the one that I'm like.
So you can only move without the ball.
I don't know. 100%. The way she holds herself.
If Rohan isn't a teacher, he should be.
Off the bat, I'm thinking Charlie's not a teacher.
You know what I feel like might be a good way is like asking about exam board names.
But would we know that still?
Particularly fun.
It's my mastermind.
I would ask what they're decorating their class or something
because he's
the next
like,
year.
He studied economics and knows that he can fall back on that and rely on it.
But then what are we supposed to catch him out on?
I don't know.
Right, we are ready for round 2. Bring the teachers back in!
I love that deliberation round. I don't know why, but I like that.
Discussed amongst
Just going
ourselves
over
and
ideas.
we're really doing well. You guys are in trouble. For once, the teachers are in trouble, not the students. But this round, we're going to focus more on you guys as individuals.
Jack, what are you most passionate about with teaching?
I think it is sort of you do see that you make a difference. I think that's the big thing, particularly with with the subject I teach in history. Some kids think they're not good at it. If you're going to study history like GCSE, there's going to be bits where you're thinking, why on earth are you teaching me this?
Yeah.
So like when I teach kids about Elizabethan England farming laws, that's not the most engaging thing. But at the same time, you're teaching them things like cockfighting in Elizabethan England. So they have a bit of
Back to sex ed.
Back to sex ed.
How's they just going to drop Elizabethan farming laws on us?
And how many cocks would be fighting?
I don't even know what that is.
You get all the guys get in a circle.
Okay.
You pick your two. Get two of them get their cocks.
Just looking up.
Oh, right. And this is appropriate for classrooms.
Well, this is the thing. Like, imagine I'm teaching this to 15-year-olds.
They're going to listen.
Got us interested. I would absolutely watch a cockfight for sure. Bring it back.
I would watch many cockfights. I'd bet all my money. It would be like my Cheltenham, I think.
Rohan, you were saying you've got a very calm, chill demeanour. What in
I don't know how I
your
would
line
feel,
of
to
work
be
sort of
honest.
pushes you out of your comfort zone?
Nothing. Now, you know what it is? Like, you, as a person, you either choose to get mad or you don't.
You are the most captivating man
Yeah,
I've ever met in
honestly,
my life.
I'm hooked on every word.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Charlie, would you say teaching makes you feel part of a community?
I mean, of course, because you have to obviously work with, like, as a school, we do a lot of things like Young Enterprise, if you've ever heard of it, which works with, obviously, local communities, businesses in the area. We have, obviously, our local community in terms of all the housing and things like that. So, and we run events.
Just out of interest, you mentioned the houses. What are the names of your houses at your school?
Houses? Oh, no, not that houses. I mean houses on the roads and all the surrounding areas. We don't have houses.
We've been done by the classic, is it a house or is it a house? And in this scenario, he chose house. And everyone thought that he made me look silly there. I don't think he made me look silly there. I made him look silly there.
I was gonna say too, because it could have been but he already said what age group his house was. What age group his class was.
I've no doubt.
So she just has to stand there.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
You can go.
Yeah, we shan't be speaking to you for the rest of the day.
What skills do you think you've learned through being a teacher?
Patience. I think when I was younger, I definitely was not patient. And with P as well, we've got kids of like different abilities. So we've got to be patient with their skill level.
The only reason why I think that she's not a teacher, bro, and I think it's either between these two, is because I feel like they're way too manicured. Like, I feel like teachers are never manicured. They always have something about him. Like, the black dude, yeah, he has his natural hair out, but regardless or not, for a guy, it's a lot easier than a woman. You know what I mean? And for her, I feel like she definitely has lip injections. She definitely has some type of Botox, and mostly just the Botox or whatever, or like collagen. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's something going on because she doesn't have, for like a white woman that is as expressive as she is in my head, unless she's mixed with something. She could be some type of Greek or like some type of Latina or whatever, but there's something going on. I'm not seeing a lot of hair, but the fact that she's so expressive and like she does like a lot of like mouth expressions and like the way she talks, I feel like she should have way more like stretch lines. You know what I'm saying? Like stretch lines or something like that. I don't know, bro. I don't know. My PE teacher had Botox. What the fuck? What type of teachers are we having these days? Bro, I had a ugly ass old nigga as my PE teacher, and shit, all my goddamn guys as teachers were just old ugly motherfuckers or like old ugly fat chicks.
With most people, like PE, I like to think there's a lot that don't. Being able to adapt, being able to be patient, fun, engaging.
I thought she said dap. That's a crucial skill. That's how you get real respect as a teacher.
Okay, well, we've got lots to think about. The next round's going to be tough, and work on your tells, okay? Because we know who you are.
She's definitely mixed with something.
Pretty well.
Yeah, pretty well. We just don't want to say because it will ruin the video early on, but we know who you are.
We have no idea.
Yeah. Okay, on to the next round.
Do you feel like that round helped much?
Not at all.
I am 90% sure it's Charlie at this point. He's a salesman. He's trying to sell this thing to us, and I'm not buying it, Charlie.
But I think there was something that he said that sounded very teachery.
But a lot of these answers are stuff where you'd be like, oh, you kind of would say that if you were faking
if you're a teacher. Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, man, Charlie's a fraud. Unless he's not, in which case he's probably a great
There
teacher.
is a weird part of me.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, I don't think it's Rohan or Hava.
I don't know why we're so sure on Heather though.
That's, I also agree with that.
She's not said or done anything that's like, there's no way that anybody.
Yeah, but her answers just gave teacher vibes to me.
We can't base it off vibes.
What else can we base it
I will be devastated if it's Rohan.
Unless she's a netball teacher, she very quickly, the way that she rolled, that was like a phrase that she has said a lot.
But you know what as well? I do think Jack, with Victorian behaviour and cockfighting, I do think we should get one bit of specialist knowledge from him, but still.
Yeah.
I still think it's between that dude or the girl, bro. And I think I'm leaning more towards the guy now. After what you said about your old teacher, Mark, I think I'm leaning towards the dude. The guy in the blue.
Teachers, bring in the teachers. Right, in this round, round 3, we are going to focus more on creativity and social interaction in teaching.
Yeah.
Are you ready, teachers? Thank you.
Great start to social interaction, that.
Yeah. I needed that. Have you ever done a song? Anyone here done a little DT song? You know, like the times table song.
Secondary school, mate.
You've done a rap. Oh, can you do it for us?
Can you do it for us?
No.
Can we hear it? Would you mind?
If you want to.
Please, yes, please.
That actually would be really cool, yeah.
You see, today we're going to learn about timbers, but you might just call it wood. And you need to understand if you're going to burn down the forest with deforestation, then you should really take care of yourself because there's a problem with it. And the problem is quite simple. You're taking away all the animals.
This nigga is horrible. He's a liar. This shit is horrible.
You should really take care of yourself because there's a problem with it. And the problem is quite simple. You're taking away all the animals' land. And if you think I'm going to stand for it, then you must understand that I overstand. So don't ever tell me that deforestation is good and that everything should be made out of timber. Because honestly, like Pride and the Rock, I'll leave you hanging like Simba.
Oh, that's sick!
That shit was
the coolest
ass.
teacher ever.
Am I wild?
He doesn't stop at teachers, he's the coolest man.
Rohan's rap was very cool, very impressive. There were a few
We're still
bars
in
that didn't
gaming
rhyme
mode,
at
I
the
think.
start, and I was like,
something's
oh,
going
is he
on.
just going to keep saying stuff? And then he started pulling it together. They were rhyming, they were quite quick.
He literally said that off the top of his head.
Because I'm nowhere near as talented as that. I think I'm going to call my label up and get them on him. You and me, no chopping down trees. It's not good for the environment or you and me.
Do you have one about Elizabethan farm?
See, let me tell you something about back in the days. It was really quite frightening. It doesn't really matter what size you are, you see, I'm ready for the cockfighting. See, I might take out my wood, man, playing.
So he's a spoken word guy.
You're sweating a bit on you.
It's him. It's him. It's him. It's him.
I'm married, man. I'm married. Was that my question?
No, joking.
I think you've shown how you've implemented a bit of your personality into your teaching methods. How have you done that?
Oh, I think I'm quite energetic. I've got a lot of, let's say, ADHD that actually can be channeled really well in PE. So I was, like I said, I was that kid that really struggled because I just couldn't stay still. I couldn't be in an exam class. I couldn't write. I didn't enjoy it. And put me in PE and I thrived.
That is good. Can you do a backflip? You can?
No, I can't.
I was going to say B.
Yeah.
What is an example of when you've really used something that sort of engages the kids in your class to get them sort of like really involved in the class?
They all have different like learning needs at that age because they're learning at different rates. There's one young boy who really, he's into Spider-Man. So I ordered some Spider-Man stickers and he has a chart. So now when we're doing counting, we'll use his Spider-Man specific stickers as opposed to just like numbers because that wasn't really grabbing his attention. So it's finding ways with each child that then bring them in. You've got to kind of bring them to your level rather than expect that a number book is going to suit everyone.
Okay.
Does that answer that question?
Yeah, but it doesn't help us out.
The stickers that I would have had in nursery probably would be Thomas the Tank Engine themed.
Facts.
That or Thunderbirds or Arsenal based.
If I was a kid and I didn't want to learn numbers and I just counted the number of Spider-Men on my textbook, that would help me out, I feel.
I want to know the best piece of advice that another teacher has given you.
For me, very early on, it was pick your battles. I think that's the big one. I've always found there's a reason for certain behaviours, and if you can find that reason and deal with it in a more appropriate way, then, you know,
mine more realistically
talking a child
would have definitely been Otto from Rocket Power.
Finish every day with a positive phone call home to a parent about a student in the class.
Yes, that's a good one.
Because the impact you have on that student when they get home is obviously tenfold, because that student then comes back in like, oh, thank you, sir, for making that phone call home. My mum's giving me this, my dad's giving me this, and it has a huge impact on building relationships with students.
And do you do that every day?
As many as I can do, in terms of, sometimes obviously a little bit busy, but...
Could we just briefly role-play a good phone call?
Yeah, like that.
But I'll dummy parent here. You could just ring me up, because I'm...
You could just ring me up.
You're right there, is that Mr. George?
It's on silent, sorry.
Hello? Is that Mr. George?
It is, yes, hello.
You're right there, I'm calling on behalf. I'm Chris's economics teacher at school.
Oh, God, what's he done now?
Nothing, actually. He's had an absolute amazing lesson today. He's been so engaged. He's answered so positive in the classroom, and obviously this is a big change from what we saw last week.
I know. Honestly. Charlie?
He's the guy. It's him. He's the imposter.
Charlie?
Yes?
Oh, you're there. Thanks very much for that.
What part of your day energizes you the most?
Definitely the smiling faces, like for sure. Especially when you can see like the penny drop with them about whatever, whether it's numbers, whether they're learning how to write their name and like following the dots and everything. The pride that they have in themselves. It's obviously going to affect you, and you can feel that glow.
Is it the same answer across the board? That's the most energizing thing.
I like the inquisitive. Do you know when they ask all the questions back and forth because you know you've really got them engaged? So when you're teaching a topic and you've got, sir, what about this? What about tax? And they're constantly asking questions, but you've got them captivated and engaged.
My favourite is when they say they want to be a teacher, especially PE. I'm like, Miss, I want to be a teacher. And I'm like, get in. So I love it. And our clubs, when my girls win, when my
no one goes to
come
PE
back and I'm like, I've done my job.
It says, oh man, I want to be the PE teacher.
And then they take it home.
Never.
They're so proud of the product that they've made because they never would have thought that they could make this or how to even make it.
What's like the best product you've been like, you've seen someone make, you've been like, wow, that's actually so impressive?
Air fryer.
So indeed, there's different elements in DT. So like textiles is an element. And I had a student and she made a jacket out of plastic bottles.
Wow.
And she wanted to do it for her dad, but like certain situations and whatever have you. So I became like her model. So she would like model it. And then she made this jacket and I was like, yo, this is actually kind of nice.
And is that the one you're wearing? Yeah. Oh, that's a great anecdote, it really is. Everything you say is great, it really is.
I want them to recycle me into a better person. I want to see how your personalities differ with your teaching. I want to do like a bit of maybe some improv. I love a bit of improv, me. Like, we've just come into the class, maybe take an inspiration from something you've taught this week, and I just want to see how you set up your lesson. Who do I want to pick on here? Jack.
Yeah?
I've not made you at break, mate.
We didn't. So.
Well, I did 3 times.
Well, you did.
I'll beat you
Where
up
were
again.
you?
Yeah, boys, we done? If we just make our way looking at the screen, there's a nice little start for you to do. Let's get that date and tile down for me, please, Chris. You can tell me all about how you nutmeg Chris later on.
Nice.
Didn't happen, sir.
Oh, sure.
It did happen, sir.
He's a mug.
Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing?
I was locked in instantly, to be fair.
Happy with that?
I thought that was quite commanding.
It was quite commanding.
You need to have a teacher stare.
Oh, everyone give us your best teacher stare.
Yeah, that would be good actually, yes.
Charlie's just mewing.
got him.
Looking into the camera.
Well, they can do it to the camera first and then turn to us.
Yeah,
so
good shout, good shout.
We all look to. Okay. Oh.
It was too serious for too long.
I liked Rohan's teacher stare. It was just very disappointed, and you can really see how if he would look at you like that, you would hate yourself.
Honestly, I felt like I'd done something wrong. Why, George? Why have you brought me such sorrow?
Can you maybe just like say our name as well in the tone that you would say it?
Arthur, this way.
Oh my God!
I think I shot myself there. Yeah.
Arthur.
Oh, that was very early years.
Good. I shouldn't have a phone at 3. What am I doing?
Arthur, come here.
Do I go over? I want to go.
Come hither somehow.
Yeah.
Arthur.
That was good.
Very economical.
Okay, finally.
Arthur, eyes on the ball, please.
Ooh, when would you say that in PE?
BTEC sport.
Oh, straight away!
She clowned on you. She clowned on you. Yeah.
I'm also head of PSHE, so I teach in the classroom a lot as well.
Oh.
So is that like, do you guys have like 2 types of like, or like do you have like a little bit of like PE, then you go in like a classroom or something, or like is she saying like, do you guys like learn about a sport or something? Like what is like BTEC PE? What does that mean? Or is that like handicap PE? Like what does that mean a little bit?
Oh, she's telling the truth.
I don't know how else to.
Wait, can the imposter turn around really quickly? There was a lot of expert knowledge from you 4. You all was cockfighting. Quick fire question, when was the Cuban Missile Crisis?
1961.
There's like a written part.
It's not.
Okay.
Isn't it?
No. And that's GCSE history. So.
Medieval.
Oh.
I was going to ask, start with Hava.
Yeah.
What is a piece of advice that you would give someone aspiring to be a teacher?
Oh, it's demanding. You have to want to teach. You've got to go in with passion. You've got to put in a lot more than you think, but it's for our children.
You've got to die to get 3 marks.
One bit of advice I'd give someone is try to obviously embed your personality into your teaching style. The kids see that you're being real and you're obviously relating to them, you will have the kids and you'll engage them and they'll make progress.
It must be quite tough in economics, right?
Yeah, but then again, I also teach maths as well, but economics isn't boring. You can bring your own personality into it. I always link in a lot of what I'm going through. Like I just bought a house and I linked it into my lesson, taught the kids, and they looked at me and went, really, that's a mortgage, that's how much you pay back at the end of it? And they looked at me like gobsmacked.
Yeah, I suppose if you sort of show that, like, open up into your life.
Exactly.
I can understand that, yeah. Sorry, you sounded like you were going to say something there. It's just an intake of breath, was it?
No,
He's just going for the economics.
Sorry,
yeah. In today's housing market, fair enough. No, I'm joking.
Rohan?
Give them your values. So like for me, like respect is the first value.
Nice.
And then the second one would be 80% work, 20% fun, because you don't want school to be boring, do you know what I mean? And then the third one is that when you walk into the room, you're a designer, you're not a student. Because I got to make them realize that when you leave here, there's a whole other world. Like this is a bubble. So when you leave school now and you leave that bubble, or your bubble gets popped, you got to understand there's a whole other world out there.
Yeah, I would follow him into war.
My piece of advice would be to meet the students where they're at. I think you can go into a role and have too much expectation and try and shoehorn like the class in a certain direction or the afternoon or the activity. But if you're able to meet them at their level...
You must be crouching a lot then.
That was such a dad joke.
I know.
That was a strong dad joke.
I only didn't laugh because I'm vertically challenged myself. Otherwise I would have thought it was funny.
Listen, believe that you're tall, man. What's wrong with you?
Oh.
God, I love him. When Rohan said that, I felt 8 foot tall. I felt like I could do anything except reach the top shelf. Jack?
For me, like you, probably don't be afraid to make mistakes. You might get a date wrong, but the student's gonna look at that and realise that you're a human.
You tell students about your dates. That's weird.
No, not.
Keep them going. Just keep it rolling.
I thought that would save it.
Make it more approachable to them. If they don't see you as just like a robot, they see you as a human.
This comes up on your For You page.
Help them through loads of stuff as well, not just there to tell them.
It's gotta be the guy in the blue.
Need to know.
I think that's a successful round. Teachers, leave us.
Gotta be the guy in the blue.
Leave us.
Leave us.
Class dismissed.
I'm pretty locked in on one. I'll be so real now.
Really?
I've got a reason.
I feel like I know who it is.
It's definitely B. I'm so certain of that.
I was going Rohan. I think Rohan's like a speaker or something like around gang culture.
Could be.
He keeps drawing back on that.
I think the come here was a bit weird. I didn't feel very teachery.
Yeah, whenever you ask him anything about DT, whenever you ask him anything about DT, he sort of comes out with these quotes as opposed to an answer that's DT related. The only thing DT related so far was someone made a jacket about our bottles, and anyone can make that up.
See, I was gonna say that, but I feel like Rohan is like he's dragging us in some type of way. And I feel like it's like whenever all eyes are like, or like all arrows are pointing in that direction, in my head, I always go with the second option. Always go with the second option. And I feel like the second option has to be the guy in the blue. It doesn't even make sense. The conversation that he had on the phone with like, when you're talking to your parents or whatever, that shit didn't make any sense. He didn't even lead the conversation. It just didn't make sense. Yes, exactly. Too perfect to be real. Like it just seems too on point. And because I was even getting the thought process that like Rohan could have been like he was saying like some type of like spoken word. I was thinking like rap, like maybe like a rapper of some kind. Also, just because when he went both times with the "Do you want to make a song about something?" He made a song for the other guy, and in my head that was him like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my extra time," and I was like, "Oh, okay, hold on." I want to go to him, but then I was like, "Wait a second." Or he's just really into whatever he actually does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be the dude in the blue, bro. Like, I know math teachers, I know economics teachers, bro, and I feel like the way he's looking doesn't make sense. The stern look he has, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. My math teacher was like a corny little motherfucker. Like, I don't know. He looks like he's like walking up and down Los Angeles Boulevard type shit.
I think that's too niche. That's too niche. Also, if Rohan isn't the teacher,
I think he's just like a motivational speaker.
I think it's Jack.
It's not Jack.
B, she referenced them as students, and they are receptionists or nurses.
Receptionists? Bro, they are not receptionists.
Wow.
She obviously teaches nursery and reception. You wouldn't call them students.
They are students. They're nursery students and reception students.
You don't call them students. You call them kids. You call them kids.
And I feel like the lady, the only reason why it doesn't make sense that it's her, the like kind of like mommy looking one, the one in the green, I feel like it's no way that it's her, because teachers have very, what do you call them, like especially like teachers who teach young kids, they usually have like, they try to act like they're like, oh, we want them to be open to everything, but they're very stern and strict on like very specific things. And she started to get very like, nah, this is how we're gonna do it, you know what I mean, this is how this goes. Like, she seemed like she's gonna stick to some, you know what I'm saying, like she seems like a teacher. She seems like a teacher.
They are. Students. No, they are. My sister studied early education and they were called students.
My
parents teaching too, mate.
Oh.
They're going for ban on familial teachers.
I think Hava is getting away with bare minimum on the end.
No, she's not. No, she's so obviously a teacher. Jack is obviously a teacher.
She's proud of her class, the PSAT
Charlie is obviously a teacher as well. It's between Rohan and B.
I'd actually be sad if it is.
He's been captivating and like motivational, but he hasn't touched on a lot.
He must be a teacher. He's taught me how to love. He really has. Bring him in. I miss him. Seriously, bring him back in.
Well, her answer about the Spider-Man thing was not very good as well.
2-year-olds don't know Spider-Man.
Who are we certain is a teacher? Well, I would have pushed for Charlie, Jack, and Howard.
Right, we are ready for round 4. Bring in the teachers for the second to final time. Hello teachers. Round 4 is rapid fire questions. But first, forget the kids for a second. How has teaching helped you develop as a person?
Well, for me, massively. I think just my confidence has grown so much. You know, I've been a lot more outgoing. I've taken advantage of like a lot of opportunities that, you know, education has sort of given me as well. I've been on like a ski trip, learned to ski. I've never have gone skiing otherwise, and I've loved it since. Like that helps you grow as a person as well.
Oh, that's cool, actually. A great answer.
That was a teacher-ass answer.
And that self-belief, because you've got to trust that you know what you're doing and that you can deliver, because it's important. So having that inner belief in yourself and the work that you do.
I actually don't think this is very good because they've had so much time to think now. It's not really quick fire questions.
Listen, I said that before.
Is it not? Sorry.
Listen, Chris, listen, please. Well, that was good, right? That was good.
That was really good.
Thank you.
A teacher.
guys. Thank you.
Yeah, when the music thing fails, mate, you've got it as a fallback.
Which it will. Rohan, thank you.
Like, see the dude in the blue. He looks like he has somewhere else to be. He doesn't want to be here no more. Doesn't he?
Realizing, you know what? All of my skills that I've developed over the years and what I've had to do has led me to see that I am a teacher and that I can teach in all aspects of life.
Charlie?
One for me would probably be a bit of empathy with regards to when you obviously speak and you're dealing with a lot of situations with kids, and you actually have to obviously be support them and give them all the advice you need, or they need really. You develop that as a little bit of empathy.
I think mine's communication. So like Ro, I really struggled when I was younger and I wouldn't ever speak about my feelings, and now I actually have to navigate those conversations with young people. So I'm getting them to understand why they feel the way they do, and I can actually transfer that. So when I have an issue, I can communicate that, whether it be a partner, a friend, day-to-day in school. I think communication is really important.
Right, rapid fire questions, and we're going to keep them rapid, okay? I think we pick randomly.
Yeah, we're just going to pick
shoot the question, you answer as quick as you can, and we'll see if we can trip any of you up.
Rohan, what's your favourite school event of the year?
Sports day.
Yes, get in.
That's genuine pride. Yeah. She's got to be.
I don't think she's in the equation.
I don't think that.
I told you it was round 2. Yeah. I was convinced that she was a teacher by round 2.
However, what was the most recent scoreline in your netball game?
6-2. It's only 7-minute quarters, so there's only 2 halves.
Okay, that makes sense.
We won.
All right, overdoing it now.
Jack, if your subject had a theme song, what would it be?
Roll with it, Oasis.
Whoa.
Why?
You just got to keep going. History's like a storybook, isn't it? You just got to keep going and going. One event leads to another.
Well, what's the difference between history and the past?
We learn from history and we add it to our experiences.
That was seasoned. That was seasoned.
You need to.
You see what that sounded like? You see what that sounded like, Chad?
A little bit now, can't
B, how would you tell a child off?
We don't really tell them off when they're that age. You kind of get them to calm down at first, and then you're going to try and get them to breathe with you properly, and then...
Why do I feel like that was the first time she choked, and now it's making me fucking question everything? Anybody else? Is that just me? Fuck.
Communicate through whether something hurts or whether it's actually an emotion, because they're trying to distinguish between the two.
What's the worst thing a kid has ever done?
The worst thing?
Yeah, where you've been like, this is something I have to really tell them off for type thing.
Oh, God.
Oh, you don't remember because you've never taught in a class.
Yeah. It's dangerous things. I think when they're like running
she got me scared, bro.
Walls, that's the closest you get to like raising your voice. But it's still, you're not telling them off, are you? But then I think your instincts of protection.
Yeah. What's the funniest thing you've ever seen a student do?
Oh my God, the funniest thing.
Run into a wall.
They are hilarious. They are hilarious.
Oh, that's funny, is it?
Hilarious.
Hilarious. You're a teacher, yeah.
No, I think it's when sometimes they come in fancy dress because their parents can't get them to take their fancy dress off. So when they're coming in like Little Mermaid costumes or like Fireman Sam stuff.
Okay.
Charlie, what's the craziest excuse someone's given for not handing in their homework?
She is really fucking these questions.
One I had a couple of years ago was their house flooded. And I actually called the parent, and it turns out they lived on a boat barge. And it actually did.
Wow.
So it wasn't really an excuse, but I thought it was an excuse.
Yeah.
Turns out it was genuine.
There was one time where I remember saving a document in a file type that I knew wouldn't open on Windows, and it was just a completely empty blank document, but I was like, my RE teacher is not going to know that I haven't done this presentation on like Mount Fuji or something, and that was the only time where I was like, I've tried to come up with something quite inventive, and it worked. I didn't have to do my presentation and didn't get in trouble.
Rohan,
Yes.
Name me your top 5 DT machinery.
Okay. Pillar drill.
What doesn't make sense to me about that is like, I feel like any other teacher would have been like, all right, just bring it in the next day. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would not have worked for me. And Arthur just seems like the type of person that crashes under pressure. I don't know. I don't know.
Name me your top 5 DT machinery.
Okay. Pillar drill. Bandsaw.
Oh.
Circular saw. Scroll saw. Line bender.
Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of like a pants on there, mate. Can't lie to you.
3D printer.
Oh, what's the coolest thing you've ever 3D printed?
A city.
A city?
What the hell?
I knew Nottingham came out of nowhere. Was it?
It took a while. It took like 24 hours. Like, it takes a while.
And are you the leader of that city? Because I will
How you
move
doing,
there
FD?
now.
Let's go, man.
Jack, name 2 exam boards.
EdXL, AQA.
Name a third, because they're the two key ones.
They're the only two history ones.
Is that true?
I don't know, I'm not a teacher.
Oh no, there you go, OCR. There you go.
B, what's your biggest classroom pet peeve?
She has nothing.
Wasn't great.
Pet peeve. I think it's when they're physical with each other, like the pushing and the arguing over who gets the carpet times.
Yeah, I got some younger siblings in school and they say that a lot of the modern day brain rot slang words are banned. Can you quickly give us one each? Go.
Riz.
Cook.
3-year-olds are going, you're cooked.
No, but outside, they love to say, I hear it all the time, they love to be like, let her cook, or
reception, I just ate my brick, I'm so cooked.
Okay. It can't be, right? Is she just, maybe she's having an episode. Oh God, bro. Oh God, it's both of the blue eyes. No, does every fucking person in the UK have blue eyes? I mean, obviously not, because they don't. But is it very common?
No, they do say outside the school.
Sigma.
Every round, it's just less believable.
Skibbity toilet, I hate it.
Skibbity toilet.
It's an ick.
B.
Yeah.
In your nursery, is it a classroom?
Yeah.
Talk me through it. What's in each corner? What's the, like, where are the little enrichment areas? What are they?
Yeah, so on the walls you've got...
Where do they cook?
What are they cooking? On the walls you've got pin boards, so we have their artwork on one wall, then we also have on the other wall them learning to write, so we've got their letters and then their pegs for them to put their bags and their coats. And then on the tables, they're a bit like this actually, but way smaller. We don't have individual desks. Okay. We've just got like big square tables so that they can work. And then carpet area, and the sensory play isn't out all the time because then it would be pandemonium.
Right, and what's the worst project that's ever been handed into you?
Boy, there's a few.
Oh yeah, he probably doesn't want to out them really.
No, well, it's not going to...
Yeah.
Without being too specific, because I don't want to hurt no one's feelings.
Oh, that's handy. Not being specific.
Oh, okay, sure.
Don't be mean to him.
Everybody take it up for real.
No, don't criticise him.
In your lane, sir.
I got this, man, don't worry. Like, you can't be too specific because you have to encourage them all the time. When someone's ability isn't as strong as, like, no one has the equal ability. So I can't be too specific.
He definitely, like, ever since he made that thing where he was like, he's like some type of like self-help guy or like a gang teacher or something. Now I'm thinking he's like a group home type of, like, he seems like that. Like, everything he's saying sounds like the stuff that you would say to like a child that's like, every response that he has to a question is like how you would answer to somebody who you know for sure has been hurt. Because a lot of people, they don't lead with like sincerity and like carefulness, you know what I'm saying? When they like talk to people for the first time, they kind of like go in and like use little like baiting ways to like kind of feel them out. But every way that he has answered a question has been in some type of like, it's almost like a uplifting or like a, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you don't want to use certain words because those could be triggering words. Like, it just, I don't know, child therapist or anger therapist, get a lanyard's given for sure. Yeah. This nigga just always looks like he's ready to go home. I don't know, man.
Rohan wasn't that specific with his answer, but also you don't want to be too specific as the kids in your class, or the kids that have been in your classes might watch this. You know, imagine him just going on the internet and just crucifying your DT project. You know, it would be pretty crushing.
Maybe a quick fire. What's the proudest a student has ever made you?
I wrote a poem based off of one student.
He's into poetry as well.
Poetry's big, you know.
Arthur's gonna fuck him.
I wrote a poem because
100% Arthur's gonna bend him over.
Behavior-wise, and he changed his life around, and it inspired me to write a poem.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Right, made it about you a little bit there. I'm really joking.
I want him to write me like a motivational speech every morning. I want him to write me just daily letters. I want Rohan to be my pen pal.
B, what is your go-to phrase when the class gets too noisy?
Oh, we do like a call and repeat. So I'm like, If you can hear me, clap once.
That was a really quick, good answer, actually.
Oh my God.
That's throwing a spanner in the works.
Spanner.
Speaking of throwing a spanner in the works.
Yes.
What's the best thing you've made?
What's the best thing I've made?
Yeah.
My children.
Were they 3D printed?
They were all 3D printed, yeah. Oh, I made a like a noughts and crosses thing for my wife for Valentine's.
She's a lucky woman.
She really is, you know. I can't even lie to you.
I was going to say, so I don't want to just keep singling out B, but it's just because I don't think she's a teacher.
I'm telling you she is.
What's your favourite part of the day as a teacher?
It probably is when they're arriving into school because they're happy to be there.
Is that true?
I don't think nursery and receptionists are leave it.
Really?
I don't think those kids are happy.
Receptionists?
No, I used to cry on the way into school, I remember, a few times.
You didn't have a teacher like B?
Yeah.
They 100% are.
Oh, that is had a whole morning routine.
You said because you just want to sit there and eat coloured sand all day, mate. Ooh, what colour glue am I going to eat today?
What would you recommend?
I'd actually like to know more about, I quite like the homework answer from
Yeah, just
Charlie. So
bit.
any other crazy homework stories from Jack?
Oh, he was doing his homework near a lake.
I had a
apparently,
hiccup.
as you do.
I don't know if we have any smokers in this motherfucker, but I just had a hiccup like while I was like inhaling, and it was like right at the end of my inhale. It was like an immediate hiccup. That shit scared the shit out of me. I thought I was about to choke and die.
And a flooded barge.
But Love Actually, and it just blew away.
A flock of geese landed, scared him off, and he couldn't go back to get his homework because he got too close. The geese
That
was
is insane.
That's brilliant. Quite similar to Charlie. He took a picture of the geese and filmed himself trying to go near the geese, and it obviously hit at him.
I like the evidence.
I don't really get excuses. I just get homework.
Yeah, he just gets apologies. It's not excuses.
A written apology as well.
Yeah.
I spent all weekend on this, but it's never going to be enough for you. You deserve everything.
Rohan, what was the most recent school trip you went on?
I took 30 children to the Design Museum. So they're GCSE students, and most of them had never been to London before. Taking the coach out, it was just nice to sort of see them on the coach, taking pictures with.
That seemed like a very generic museum title. Like,
we went for a little.
He didn't really say like which one, you know. Like.
If you're lying, my heart will be broken. I'm just saying.
Oh, it's gonna be broken.
Okay, well, I actually feel more lost than I did before,
God's sake.
to be honest.
Okay.
We've got a lot of discussion to do, which we will do now. Teachers and Imposter, you've done an excellent job.
Thank you. So teachers and
Yeah.
So has anybody else, like, we've all been watching this video, right? Has anybody else been like kind of like questioning or confused on why they didn't like bare minimum like put George in front of this cable? I don't know why. It's just been blowing the fuck out of me. I've been trying to figure it out. I was like, oh, well, maybe the camera, like you would see too much of the left side and it would be off screen when they did the wide shot. I don't know, but it was bugging the fuck out of me. I'm not gonna lie.
We will see you and reveal the imposter very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
I'm pretty set on my decision now.
Having a literal family member who was in early years, who studied in early years, everything she said literally matches up perfectly.
Running into walls. Do kids do that at that age?
Yes.
That's the only thing I'm like, oh, but like.
But she's the only person that hasn't given an answer where I'm like, that is something so specific.
She was
The
inconsistent.
call and response, they are told to do that.
That was a good answer, yeah.
That's a good one.
When I asked her, well, how would you tell a child off, that was deliberate because I know they're told to do positive reinforcement. They're not allowed to raise their voice. They have to tell them to calm down. She relayed that perfectly. Genuinely, none of what she said has made me be like, I don't believe her. Whereas Rohan, every single time he answers a question, it starts off very vague and then will hone in on something that's incredibly niche. And then we will go,
oh, mate, the 5 heavy machineries that you reeled off.
I couldn't, like, you
did say 3 swords.
But 6 of them were actual DT machines.
Also, think, he's come in saying he's a DT teacher. He's thinking, oh, they're going to ask me what's in my classroom. Those are things that he's going to know.
Also, the past and the history thing, but it's like a very common thing in history is like the past happened, history is the study of what probably happened. Like, I feel like that's a very foundational, like that's the point in history.
I'd never heard.
I'm also very mad. I've heard that, but I'm also very mad that he didn't know when the Cuban Missile Crisis was. The Cuban Missile Crisis, because I'm not gonna lie to you, that is some like basic generic shit. I was not on point with the date with the thing because I definitely said 74, but I'm gonna just lock it in. You know what I'm saying? On that shit was wild because I feel like if you're a history teacher and he's like a high school history teacher, or like for y'all, like whatever the fuck the term would be. He's like a high school teacher. A high school teacher would definitely know what year the Cuban Missile was. Like, or he would be like, hold on 1 second. And then he would be able to name that off top. Like a history fucking teacher, nigga. Like, come on, bro. That shit has so much, like, that leads into like government history. I guess that's more like American government history. You know what I'm saying? And like Cuba. So I guess technically, like, maybe like if he was from America, I would probably expect for him to know, you know what I'm saying, a lot about that, because I definitely had a lot of shit to do with what, you know what I'm saying, we had going on over here. I don't know. I feel like y'all would know that, because y'all know a lot of shit about our history. Y'all know hella shit about our history. So I don't know.
That when I was...
Well, and he did say that or didn't?
Didn't. He really panicked and kind of stumbled over his words.
We have to agree on one.
I think we're just very safe with it. If it's the N2,
it's not the N2. It's definitely not the N2. The way that she talks passionate and like...
Yeah.
Charlie as well has got better and better as it's gone on.
Charlie has.
She's got the PE teacher rock on lock. Yeah. You know, the healer.
I will say I'm not 100% on that. Let's narrow it down to 2.
I still think Rohan's questionable. I thought
everything he says is very up in the air, and I couldn't possibly narrow it down. That's like...
But like 30 Kids Design Museum,
really?
Nando's.
But Nando's makes no sense. How are you getting 30 kids into Nando's?
What? You can easily get 30 kids into Nando's. You just phone
what school is paying for 30 Nando's for kids?
But they have to get lunch somewhere. I've not heard anything from B.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of money, bro.
Like, there's no point.
I'm choosing B over
30 kids, Nando's.
Okay, you know what? We're going to go 3,
We barely
2,
got
1,
McDonald's
say it, okay? 3,
on
2,
field
1.
trips.
Rohan.
3, 2, 1. B. 3, 2, 1. Rohan.
I don't know. No, but George is so set. Like he's very set on it. And
I don't want George to be smug if it's Rohan. I'd rather it be Rohan and George be wrong.
Because I don't think it'd be worth living with George.
We have really quickly reached a decision. Bring the teachers in for the final time.
It took them ages.
My heart is in my mouth.
Oh, I hate everything about this.
Insanely invested for a YouTube video on a Saturday.
So no more questions. We have made our decision.
I'm
but we
going
are
blue
just going to
jacket.
go right to left, sort of
Blue jacket.
any suspicions we had throughout, and explain a bit, but not reveal quite yet. So however, I thought, I mean, these guys, they're pretty confident.
Yeah,
Who y'all got, chat? Who's everybody got before they reveal?
Yeah.
Interesting language.
You think I'm a confident teacher?
Yeah, apparently it's because of the way you're leaning, and
Doesn't get a PE teacher.
it's giving PE teacher apparently.
Hill,
So I'm not sure it's sufficient.
Yeah.
He's the only one, by the way. We all are utterly convinced you're PE.
Why don't you think I'm a teacher?
I think we glossed over you slightly too much, just because of the vibes.
I just think how passionate she was about her team. And
all equally passionate, I think.
She's the only one that's cheered out loud at a mere mention of her class. So yeah, Charlie, you were the only one that we were unanimous on in terms of we didn't think it was you by the end, but after the first round,
We were certain it was you.
So you really flipped it on its lid.
No, I feel that. I understand that.
Yeah.
Charlie's a teacher.
Your economics knowledge was great.
Thank the validation from you. You knew it.
That's an A+.
Validation there.
Rohan, we were sceptical due to some vague answers in there, and I think it was a question about a specific project, but you decided you didn't want to give anything away.
We're not sure about the heavy machinery. Could have been
rehearsed.
Which I mean, personally, I love the answer, but there's some of the other people at this
We
table.
also think you're like very inspirational. That we think you may very well be some sort of like community leader,
King,
like using those
MLK, yeah.
using those like that inspiring aura to like go around the country maybe and speak to a lot of people and like uplift them. And you're very clearly passionate about like getting people in good places and the environmentalism and stuff. So they're all great traits for a teacher as well.
Yeah, I got teacher vibes, but there was some things we weren't sure about. And then B, there was a lot of things that weren't. I think the only one for me that didn't give us like straight teacher lingo and vibes instantly. And so I think there was a lot of things that throughout I was like, that just kind of sounds like you're waffling a little bit. So I think George was quite set on the fact that those answers were quite insightful throughout and genuinely did give the vibes of a sort of a nursery teacher. So.
Oh yeah. You again. The Cuban Missile Crisis question, we thought that's a very common one, Key Stage 2.
I'm not going to let that down.
No.
But your teacher voice was extremely...
That was insanely good.
And you definitely have the passion for it. Like, if you actually are a teacher, I can tell that your class will really enjoy it.
Well, I'm so nervous.
Yeah, I mean, we've made a decision.
We've made a decision, and we believe
gonna fucking be him, isn't it?
that the imposter is...
Is it though?
Rohan. This feels horrible.
That's that disappointment
You
in
could
the
cut
eyes.
the tension with a circle saw, am I right?
Circular saw.
Circular saw.
After a bit of tension, can the imposter please step forward?
Oh, it's gonna be broken.
It's
Less and less every round. Less and fucking less every fucking round. We said it, bro.
When we were doing the vote, us three were kind of thinking it was you, but George was convinced that you would ignore.
sorry. You know what though? That was made easy for me because these guys are such amazing teachers. Really. I do seriously mean that. But then I was just able to.
You sold it to me.
Did you pick that so you didn't have a specialist subject yet? Like, what was the reason you decided to be the non-secondary school teacher?
I felt like it was more my vibe. If you know that I'd be that kind of teacher if I was, but I'm not. But after today, I'm like, maybe I should be a teacher.
What do you do?
Digital design.
Because we were like, if you're not a teacher, then we thought that you had kind of like looked after kids. There was a lot of things in the
kids. No.
Really?
No.
In the question when you asked about like what was in the classroom, that was answered very well, and that kind of threw us. I think.
The callback thing was the one where we were like, that was an instant. You were like, how do you get their attention? Instant callback. I was like, oh. And George actually tried to catch you out on one of the questions with telling kids off, and you apparently did you were positive rather than negative.
Because he knows someone that does early stages, and you got it all wrong.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well.
Maybe George is the imposter.
No, I had amazing teachers.
That's actually
and
crazy,
you're all clearly
bro.
fantastic teachers. So I think.
I'm so sorry, Rohan.
We said it though. We literally said it. We literally were like, "Yo, it doesn't make sense. It's all like when all signs are pointing that way. You know what I'm saying? You can't be it." But I was wrong regardless. So shit, fuck me.
Yeah.
I'll follow you. In a non-weird way.
I only had a tiny bit of sus on her.
We were saying it was almost like a good thing. Like you're not too inspirational, but like.
What are you trying to say?
You asked me if I was single, man.
That's so upsetting.
We really screwed it up.
Oh, you guys should have just been.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you felt inspired and want to find out more, search Get Into Teaching.
That was fire, man.
How did we not think of one? Oh, there was kids walking around.
I panicked.
How did we not pick up on that?
No, we did. We just didn't call back on
I'm
it.
not saying let them cook in reception and nursery.
Oh, we're gonna look so stupid.
I'm not gonna lie. I just like completely like went over that. Like I didn't second guess that at all either. I'm not even gonna cap.